right. Well, welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Welcome to the world of the insanity. Where are we? Who are we? Where do we live? What are we doing here? Is it real? How many times have we talked about, How many times have we talked about reality? Is it virtual? Is it stimulation? Is it a computer? Is it math? It's math, isn't it? It's a lot of math. What am I doing over here? Anyway, there's a guy who we're going to listen to tonight who really explains this afterlife, what happens. And it doesn't end, he says. Angels, demons, God is the center of everything. God is also the universe. You pray to the universe. I do. And you're praying to God. Oh, I just love this guy. I'm waking up to reality again. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun to think that this isn't real. Everything we're doing, this is real. No. Everything we're doing means nothing, but it means something. Because I'm going to change this shirt at halftime. I can't handle it. It's all weird. It's like on this side it's pulled in, and this side it's a little So yeah, I want to talk about that. Also, the telepathy tapes. We're going to start the insanity this week. Friday and or Saturday, not sure what day yet. Dark Hour Paranormal and I are going to join forces through his platform. He is going to have John, forget his last name, John, the guy who claims he had an alien in the freezer. Remember that guy? It ripped his dog apart. He stuffed it in the freezer. Everybody said it's fake. He went on a TV show. He disappeared. Jaime Maussan. Oh, my God. Remember? Well, Dark Hour interviewed him about a week or so ago, and they're doing another episode this Friday. It was supposed to be tonight. And I said, let's join forces, and why don't I stream it the same time? So we're going to do that because I think YouTube still allows that marrying for the show. You can have up to, I think, 4 channels streaming all intertwined. Like if you chat here, it'll show up in his chat room and vice versa. So hopefully it'll work out that way Friday. So that'll be interesting. That guy's story is a trip. And you know, I always thought it was fake, bullshit, but man, I gotta tell you, the story's one you gotta listen to again. Just, if you eliminate the alien and the way it looked and how it got away from him and all the bullshit, why didn't he take it to this? Why didn't he do that? Why? Yeah, a lot of questions I got. So we'll see. It'll be a good show. And what's today? Tuesday? Tomorrow's supposed to be a little rain in Florida. Some thunderstorms. We're going to have a lot of fun. I just loaded up for the members a lost episode of Third Phase UFO Report. It's a pretty good report. I'm going to put another one up tomorrow and some other stuff for the members on both channels. So we're starting to get that going now. I loaded another episode on the Rich Saves today. Not the best episode. It's just, it is. I love it. I think it's great. It's just there's no fighting. So people don't share it. Oh, no fighting. I'm not sharing this. But it's interesting. I talked to people, walked around, showed how dirty the post offices were. Government employees are really cool. FedEx worker and all the stuff. It's a pretty good video. Anyway, let's see who's here tonight because we got a good one. Got a good one. As always, I think so. I think they're all great. Who's here? Hey, UFO 91. That was weird. Welcome to the show. Samo. How you doing, kids? Good to see you. Kelly. Good to see you. Hey, Rich, Led, Food. How you doing, huh? Hey, Nathan. I sent her a scathing email today. Called her a liar and a thief. Yeah. Yeah. I said, you still owe me money? What she did to me was unlawful. And I'm letting the internet know. Slowly and sure. If you look at my some of my X replies from yesterday's telepathy, I seen her on an episode on X somewhere, and I had to comment, beware of this woman, she's a liar. Hey, Squash, turn up your volume. No, I will not. I know people can hear me. How you doing, Mystic? What do you say there, huh? And the reason I know people can hear me, because I see the levels and they're all the same as they always are. Check your volume. Oh yeah, you got a volume button as well. Here, listen, watch. You got a volume button as well. That's loud. And don't tell me this isn't. Here, listen, watch. Hey, somebody sent gifted 5 memberships. Henry Sterling? See, I didn't see it. It didn't show up on my end. Thor Panku's here. Welcome to the show. Marcel, welcome to the show. Italian Pitbull. Welcome to the show. Brian Yates, how you doing, New England? Good to see you, my man. Nathan from the Quantum Show, how you doing? So I want to thank you, say that again, to a good man who, where is it? Henry Sterling threw down 5 memberships. Teresa, I'm okay. I'm okay. I mean, I'm never 100%, but I'm as good as I can be. Actually, I'm about 85% today. It was 50% this morning. Thor Panku, how you doing, eh? I just don't know, man. You know, I forced myself out today. Contrary, 1, 1, 1. Welcome to the show. Hey, Bernie. How you doing, Mr. Muro? Good to see you. Thank you. There he is. How you doing? Henry Sterling. Good man. Teresa Pulio. Hey, John Griggs. You were gifted a membership by Henry. I see UFOs was gifted a membership. Geek Out was gifted a membership. Doc is Guna. Look who it is. It's Doc is Guna. Hello, where you been hiding? Forget about it. Come on. Show me your membership there. I can't do it anymore. Felicity was gifted a membership. And Henry, you the man. Let's go, said Samo. And let's get the stars a-rolling. Thank you, everybody. If you want to help support GUFON, you can do what Henry did. Or you can use a super chat, super sticker. The links are in the description for PayPal, super chat. Believe me, we need the help. We're dying. Hey, look, I'm thinking about starting a whole new UFO channel. Because this one, we're going to give this channel a little bit longer. Because I want to see if I start doing things, adding the shorts and doing it all, right? So starting today, because I felt good today, and I said as soon as I start feeling good, I'm going to start the process of literally, and I know it's going to sound weird because I do spend about 6 hours, 7 hours a day on GUFON and about 4 hours a day on Rich Saves America, sometimes 8 hours if I'm driving. So I have to alternate days. And what I've decided is I'm splitting them up, and it's a whole day, 5 hours GUFON, 5 hours given to each, 10-hour day. That includes the show. So it's really, a lot of work's going in now. So I hope we can somehow manipulate the algorithm to start throwing us a bone. And if it doesn't work, then we'll switch. I promise you, I will make a new channel. I'm not going anywhere, but I'll make a brand new UFO channel. Not with this 14,000 subs. No, 0. Yeah. Start from scratch. And I'm going to need your guys' help. Just all I want you to do when this happens, just subscribe. Okay? Just subscribe. That's all I'm asking. Because I want to see if I'm shadow banned on the new channel when that happens. It'll be in the summer. I'm looking at June 21st, first day of summer. Okay? So that's the 3 months I'm giving it now. I think that's fair. It shouldn't take that long for the algorithm to change, maybe a week, maybe 2, I don't know. But if I start putting in a lot of what YouTube wants, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm just doing the same shit over and over. And all they see is me sitting here. Pop, pop, pop. They don't see me going out. They don't see people coming in. It's the same face. The algorithm sees this mug and it's bored of it. And it thinks everybody else might be. And it might be. All right. Well, I knew, but I didn't believe it. Everybody told me, you'll never see 20,000 subscribers. I'll never see 15. That sucks. And we lost another 13 subscribers the last 28 days. Isn't that nice? What other channel does that? It's insanity, isn't it? I don't want to leave this channel. I don't want it to die. You put in 5 years of your life for this. For now, it's been over. And the reason I know it, because when I put a video up for Rich Saves America, 9 times out of 10, those videos with only 1,900 subscribers beats GUFON. Shouldn't happen. I don't get it. I mean, I understand where things may have gone wrong, but we are still here. We, for all the things that we've been through, I mean, we've been struck 3 times and 12 times by Darcy Weir, the biggest pussy in the industry. Yeah, he is. Darcy, I'm telling you, if I ever see you, I'm going to smack the bitch out of you. I'll go to jail for it. I will. I will smack your bitch face. I'm just saying it. I'm going to smack him. Hey, Darcy, poof, no. Call the cops. I'll go to jail. I'll get bailed out. Good. I don't care. I just need to feel your face in the palm of my hand. I'm going to bitch slap you. I'm telling you, I am. When you see me, be aware of it. I'm saying it right here, live. I don't care. I will do it. Because I'm never, what are the odds of me running into her, him, it? Darcy is a guy, just so you know. One of the worst documentarian filmmakers we have in this field. And I say this a lot. If you throw up enough shit against the wall, something will stick. I think he put out a movie called Dark Alliance just recently. It doesn't look bad, actually. But I won't watch it because I have such internal and external hate for this person. And I know if he ever watches this, he'll be like, ha ha, ha ha, I live inside your head. No, you don't. You don't. Only when I come here and I get reminded of him is when I think about, I don't think about him outside of this. But when other people bring it up, the hate comes with his name. There's no other person that elicits that type of trigger. Lou Elizondo, not even close. Because I don't know Lou. I just don't like Lou in ufology. I don't know him as a person. Even though I talk a lot of shit, because that's what we see. We see and hear things about him, and he looks like a bully. And his history sucks, so he's a fake. He's a deep fake. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with all this, but it's I'm just tired of laying low. Before I was GUFON, I started out as the AZ UFO show. And it was the most popular show on Blog Talk Radio for paranormal shows for 4 years. Literally 4 years, we were number 1. And then I got banned for a month and could never recuperate. And that's a shame. But people hated and loved what we were doing back then. And I got away from that because times changed, didn't they? I can't keep doing the same thing over and over, can I? Keep calling people out for lying, cheating, stealing, charlataning. I mean, Alex Jones does it. Howard Stern did it for 25, 30 years. He's changed. Everybody changes. We all change with the time. But I feel like the time is now to go back to call people out more than we ever have before. And now that I'm in Florida, I actually can meet up if I make an appointment with Anna Paulina Luna, Rubio. These people are in Florida. I got a good shot at getting some good information, possibly from these people, which tomorrow brings me to my work list. And tomorrow, number 2 on the list is to make an appointment with Anna Paulina Luna for an interview. I'm going to try to do that. And while I'm down there, if Rubio's there, see if I can do that too, whatever, whoever's there. But it's time to find out what these people are really into. Time to get up close and personal. And I always said, if I was in the same state, I need to get in there and do it. Now, I am predicting that I am not going to be sick much longer, even though every 3 days, but I am fighting it this time. I am not letting the universe, and we're going to talk about this. The universe is going to listen to me. I am not going to get sick. I am not going to be sick. I will not be dismantled from the community by sickening throw-ups and all that shit. It's over. I am taking control of this situation mentally, physically, and I don't give a shit what the universe is going to try to do to me, because the universe works in our favor and it works against us. It depends on who you are, how you think, how you're using your relationship with the universe itself or God. I'm not going to be into the religion part of this, but you have no choice. It is mentioned in this guy's I guess his speech, his interview. I got to play this now. We're just going to get to it. I'm not going to mess around tonight. I want you to hear this. I'm serious about this. I believe in the Matrix. I believe we are not. I believe we are not living in a reality we think. I think it's real. Yeah. Do I think it's a computer simulation? Partly, not all of it. Now that's a weird thing. How can you have partly? Well, things like the background shit, space, the deep oceans, the high mountains. Oh, that's right. That stuff does exist because man has been there. We've been to Everest. We've been to very deep parts of the ocean. Mind you, we've only been around 10% of the ocean anyway, but we know what's down at the Marianas Trench. Nothing that we know of. But imagine you're a fish and you're at the bottom, just chilling, 12,000 feet down, whatever it is. And you hear what sounds like a humming. It's a motor. Don't you think the fish would go hide? Yes. They just back up into their little caves. And they get low in the dirt, sand. And they just wait till everything passes by. And then every now and then you get one of those old, 800-year-old fish. Oh, shit, camera. And it doesn't realize it's being photographed because he's blind. He's got cataracts. Anyway, and that's how we get these things. It's all accidental. Because these fish know we're coming. Haven't you seen the fish that the sharks, the turtles, the dolphins, they come up to these ships, these people on boats, and they go, rah, rah, and they're like, what? And rah, 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 and it's going like this. And they go, we're going to follow this thing? Yeah. And they follow it. And next thing you know, there's a whale cutting it. It's in the net and it's dying in the net. It's been in there. It's all cut up. It's got bruises. It's got lines all over from the net, struggling to get out. How do they know? How do the fish know to get us? How? And forget the fish first and get the hell out of the ocean. Let's go to land. How about the ducks, the squirrels, the birds, the deer, the antelope, the bear? They all come to homes and they go, my friend's stuck in mud. My friend's in a fence. My friend's stuck in a tree. A gazelle broke his leg. You know, they have all, how do they come and get us? They go, and we go, and they go, and we go that way, and they go, yeah. And we go. Next thing you know, how? Because we're all connected. Connected. This table, this desk, connected. We're all connected. We're all made up of stardust. What movie? Rogue One. Very good, Star Wars fans. Nathan, you got that, huh? Mm-hmm. Was there a super chat? I thought I heard a super chat. Super chat. The angel of GUFON is here. Jeanette. Foghorn Leghorn. Foghorn. Uno, dos, tres. Yahoo! Jeff Garvey made it. What do you say there, JJ? Hold on, let me pull this up, Biddy. What was I talking about? Matrix. Oh, yeah. Let me pull up this video for you. And also, when we sleep, what happens when we sleep? This is from a channel called Be Inspired. It's got about almost 10,000 subscribers. I'm sorry, 9.1 million subscribers. I just want to play almost all of this video, so I hope they understand that, you know, it's for
will
training
persist
purposes.
after you die.
You're telling me I'm going somewhere.
Yes.
I love it. Oh,
God
this isn't the Matrix. Where's the Matrix one? Hold on. All right, watch that.
God is outside of time and space.
God distributes over time and space, and there's some left over.
You know what?
Time and space.
It doesn't matter. I don't know if this is it, but let's watch it. I know a lot. I've watched a lot. I've read a lot over the last couple of days.
Is static. It's a display.
Yeah.
Imagine that you're a little homunculus inside a computer display, like the Matrix, for example, okay? God not only distributes over that, but there's a whole other
Yeah, this is the video.
domain where God exists, and that's the processing domain.
This is so amazing to me. This changed the way I see the Matrix now and my reality. I'm telling you, this is powerful stuff.
That's the non-terminal
I'll be quiet.
domain. We're living in the display
We're in the
of that
display.
simulation. In addition to the display, there is also a processing aspect, okay? And God captures both of those things. He captures both the display and the processing. What is reality? Is reality just stuff out there?
No.
Reality has a mental aspect. And I'm saying that consciousness exists in every part of the universe because those are the quanta.
That's what I'm asking. Are you telling me that this table is conscious?
In that sense, yes. Generically conscious.
Are angels and demons real?
Yes.
God is real, angels are real, demons are real. Is the devil real?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love this.
Let me tell you something very important about the man you just saw, Chris Langan. Renowned for his extraordinary intellect, with an IQ estimated to be between 195 and 210, he developed the CTMU, a revolutionary theory about reality. Let me briefly explain what it means. The CTMU, or Cognitive Theoretic Model of the Universe, suggests that everything in reality, from consciousness to physics to God, is interconnected within a system that operates like a self-aware computer, processing and displaying information. Now, let's hear Chris Langan explain this in his own words.
If we're talking about a theory of everything, the first question we have to establish, does God exist?
Yes.
Simple as
Yes,
that.
the reality has an identity, okay? The identity is that as which something exists. Matter of fact, when you say the word reality, you're naming an identity. It is, you're identifying something. That's what the CTMU says. It just comes up with the mathematical structure that you need to build a reality out of that, you see? So you come up with that identity and then you search it for its properties. You see, once you've built the preliminary framework, then you start deducing the properties of this identity, and you find out that those properties match those of God as described in most of the world's major religions. You can deny the existence of God, or are its properties such that God definitely has to exist? And the answer is, God exists.
You know what's so weird about this? Now, I have to pause it because you just cannot play other people's videos straight through. So, I'll explain, believe it or not, why is there a devil? There is. And the devil is based on you. See, when you die, if you denounced God or that there was a God, some type of God, we have free will. But if you denounce it and hated God and didn't believe in God, God knows you're there in the matrix, but doesn't mind you anymore, doesn't pay attention to you. It hears you, but it doesn't answer you like it used to because you've denounced them. So what you do when you're dead and you want the reality to continue is you build your own reality, but you don't have the processing of God. And God believes it's perfect, whereas the devil says, and you think with your memories that you're perfect, but you're missing the God element. So the devil steps in and uses you and me and others that are human to get their power. It's an amazing concept and an amazing way to think that if this is a matrix type of reality and there are laws to be governed by God, the matrix reality, or the universe, or whatever, then holy shit, then the negative stuff can also happen at the same time. Look, when you hear people say you need to have God in your life, do what I did. If you don't really believe there's a man in the sky, call it the universe instead. I pray to the universe, the all knowing, the all seeing universe. It's the same and it's okay. I know it's weird, but you're not denouncing. And look, I don't know what happens on the other side, but I think we should live life, treat others as you want to be treated, follow the 10 commandments best you can, don't kill anybody and all that other shit. And you'll get into heaven. You'll be reborn into another reality, maybe a similar, maybe a little different, but brand new way to enjoy whatever it is you want to be or whatever it is they put you in. That's what I want to know. When did all of this start? And where does God come from? I think they talk about that. But let's take a listen because this is the existence of God. And I pretty much told you, but it's nice to hear it from the professionals.
Properties of the central substance and central principle of reality, those properties are attributed to God, including, of course, things like you have the three O's, omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence, but then you've also got consciousness. God has to be sentient.
We're not just defining God out of existence. Sometimes you'll hear people say God exists, but they'll give God such a weak and shallow definition that the God that they're describing has no relation to the God that we conceive of. You're saying, no, God himself is conscious and therefore personal?
Yes. You can establish a personal relationship with God. We're images of God. You know what an image is? It's basically the product of a mapping. God maps himself into each human being.
I have always said that and I've always felt it. As long as I can remember, I said, we are our own gods. The universe is ours. We can create a reality and we don't believe it. It's why we don't do it all the time or at all, because we don't believe we can do this process where you imagine it and trick the universe into thinking you're already living a good life. So the life of a good person can open up all the doors for you. And next thing you know, you're meeting people that are rich and famous and can help you get ahead in life. It's really amazing how you can manipulate the universe. I've done it many times, but I don't do it consistently enough to where I'm seeing the fruits on a consistent basis. It sucks, but I love this.
Is your claim a pantheistic claim that God is the universe or the universe is God and that's that? Or no? Or is God outside of the universe and created?
God is greater than, well, what is the universe?
Reality has an identity that can be studied like anything else that exists. When we examine it, we find three main features: complete knowledge, ultimate power, and presence everywhere. These exactly match what religions say about God. This isn't just a theory. God is conscious and aware, creating direct connections with humans by putting part of himself into each person. This means we can have real relationships with God, not just believe in him as an idea. The mathematical structure behind this shows that God must exist because reality needs him to work properly. He's not.
Is that a loophole they threw in there? I don't know, man. I my whole life I've denounced that there is a God, but not that there is a higher being, which is the same thing.
Just
I am so in denial, and maybe I should start saying God. See what happens. I don't know. Nothing wrong. I'm not embarrassed to say I would believe in God. I believe in the universe, and they're telling us the universe is God, basically.
The concept we created, but the central force that makes everything possible and keeps it working. This leads to a crucial question about how God relates to our universe. Is God the same thing as the universe? Or is God something bigger that includes but isn't limited to the universe? To answer this, we need to look at modern theories about how our universe works, particularly the simulation hypothesis.
You ever hear of the simulation hypothesis?
Yes.
Okay, well, the simulation hypothesis is basically the idea that the reality we see around us, physical reality, is simulated on some sort of an automaton or a computer. God, it's more panentheistic. The idea is that you've got the physical universe that you see around you, but God is not confined to the physical universe.
Okay.
See, there's an ordinary pantheist assumes that God is somehow confined to the universe, that there is just what we see around us and God is in every piece of it. God is distributed over.
Right? That's what we think. I have to pause it. That's what we think, right? It's in everything.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more complex than that, because this part of the universe that we see around us cannot exist just by itself.
Yeah.
Okay? There are certain things that it entails. And when you go into those entailments, that's how you get to God. That's how you get to the identity of reality. But to get back to the simulation hypothesis, that we're living in the display of that simulation. In addition to the display, there is also a processing aspect. And God, it captures both of those things. He captures both the display and the processor.
What do you mean? I hate to put it in the...
In other words, God is the motherboard, right? The mainframe, the architect.
Well, I mean, okay, here's the display. You realize the display contains states.
Yep.
Okay, you see things, the objects contain states. States are static.
Yep.
That's why they're called states.
Yeah.
Okay, static. How do they change? Well, they have to be processed. Something has to process.
Yeah.
And in the calculus, for example, those are tiny little infinitesimal intervals. Okay, but they are not actually contained in the states themselves. They have a neighborhood, a little tangent space or what have you, where you can sort of draw little vectors that suggest that some kind of processing is going on. But the idea of being a state and being a process, those are two different things to the ordinary way of looking at it. It turns out that you can't properly describe reality and causation at all unless you put those things together somehow. And that's what it takes God to do. God provides the processing functionality for your state.
The universe works in a way similar to a complex computer system, with two main parts: what we can see and experience, the display, and what makes everything work behind the scenes, the processor. This idea comes from the simulation hypothesis, which suggests our reality might be like a sophisticated simulation, but God isn't just part of this system. He's bigger than it and controls both aspects.
I want to thank Dorothy and Nathan for the supers. Thank you very much, you guys.
What makes this understanding unique is that everything we see exists in different states, like frozen moments in time. These states need something to make them change and move forward, and that's where God's role becomes crucial. He provides the processing power that makes everything work together, not just maintaining the universe but actively participating in its operation. This understanding of how reality works leads us to a deeper question about consciousness. How do we, as conscious beings, fit into this complex system of display and processing? The answer is
Okay. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say again. What did he say?
to make them change and move forward, and that's where God's role becomes crucial. He provides the processing power that makes everything work together, not just maintaining the universe but actively participating in its operation. This understanding of
Right. And we are told what? What are we being told right now in ufology? That consciousness, it's in everything, pretty much, right? Well, that's pretty amazing. How's that even possible? Is that hereditary or is it a construct? Was it made? Is it God? There's so much that goes into it. I don't know how they know everything they're saying is correct. And then and there's another thing that they don't tell you, which they kind of do, but they don't, is you got to be consistent when you're doing this. If you want to take control of your destiny, believe it or not, I'm telling you the truth. If you want to manipulate reality, just by chance, if we are living in a computer system, you can imagine the reality you want in minute detail, so much so that if you do it on a regular basis, eventually the doors that blocked you from getting to that area in life begin to unlock, and you meet all sorts of people and go down paths that were never available to you because you used to think so not that way. It really is to do something and to make this work for you. If you really want to take control of yourself and your reality, this is not something you can take lightly. And I know because I've been there and I took it lightly every time and it worked, but it stopped just when it got working because I was happy. I got my goal. I didn't continue the process. I didn't tell God who I and you, we all have a relationship with God. Imagine that. It's built into our DNA, into our system, to have this relationship, to be heard by God. Why? Well, so we work together in some sort of happy symbiotic relationship where we can take this vessel and make it last as long as we can with the consciousness and tissue that God gave us. Where does that spark of life come from, you ask? I don't know, but it is amazing. There's so much we don't understand, and yet it's right in front of us. We see it, and we don't understand it. How frustrating is this, right? I'm going to play, this second half of this video is amazing. You thought the first half was good? This is better.
how reality works leads us to a deeper question about consciousness. How do we, as conscious beings, fit into this complex system of display and processing? The answer involves something called quantum mechanics and identity operators.
Now, how do I make sense of consciousness?
Well, ordinarily, quantum mechanics, you know what quantization is?
You know, I know the word.
Yeah. Well, you decide what the ultimate irreducible objects are. Mm-hmm. It turns out that in order to quantize that theory that I was talking about, that theory of identity, where you've got the display and you've got the processor, mm-hmm. and it's handling both, it turns out that in order to handle both of those things, you need a certain kind of quantum. That quantum is called an identity operator. God is the identity. So Obviously, these little quanta, they have to be, they're doing things, they're processing, so we can call them operators, right? They are identity operators, okay? The identity operator has, basically it takes input from the outside world, recognizes it or accepts it using syntax, processes it, and then returns it to the world as external state.
That right there is thinking it, processing it, and having it come back to you as reality. He just said it. Beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad I'm here.
No, that's
Those
what
are
I'm
the
asking. Are you
quantum,
telling me that this table is conscious?
In that sense, yes. Generically conscious. It's relying on our consciousness to do it. There's levels of quanta. These are tertiary quanta. They're all put together using physical localistic forces, right? But those are underdeterminative. They don't fully determine what happens. Why? The Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Right. We all have our purpose and our role in the matrix or reality.
For example, it tells you that the quantum rules, they're probabilistic.
Consciousness works through a system of identity operators, special elements that take information from the world, process it, and return it back. This isn't just about human consciousness. Everything has some level of awareness, even simple objects like tables. The difference is in the levels. Humans have a more complex form of consciousness, while objects have a simpler version. What makes
We're just a upper tier of reality. That's not reality, of a being, of a living organism.
this understanding revolutionary is how it connects to quantum mechanics, where things aren't completely determined but work on probability. This means consciousness isn't just observing reality, it's actively participating in it. The way we process and interact with reality affects how it manifests. This understanding of consciousness naturally raises questions about free will. If everything has some level of consciousness and nothing is fully determined, what does this mean for our ability to make choices?
Now, you've mentioned two things that raise a new question for me, which is you mentioned this idea of simulation, just the simulation or self-simulation, and you've mentioned us doing things. So then it would seem to me we have to tackle the question, do we really do much of anything at all, in the sense, do we have free will?
Yes, we do. Okay.
I'm glad to hear it. I always thought we did.
Well, yes, we have to have free will. Oh, I was discussing with you earlier the idea of a fixed array. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, now, modern physics know, basically what you've got is you've got a bunch of quantum fields in superposition, and then those fields consist of little fluctuations, little quantum fluctuations, right? Reality is actually generative, okay? It's not a fixed manifold. Everything is being created all the time. Not just our states. Our states are being recreated, right? When I look at you, I'm seeing Michael Knowles, okay? I'm seeing you sitting there. But that means that I'm seeing your boundary. I'm seeing what distinguishes you from the external environment, right?
Right. Well, it's sort of like a little baby, right? Has trouble recognizing the limits of things and recognizing what some individual object might be from, you know, the glass on the table. They have trouble distinguishing those things.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Okay, the baby has to learn to distinguish those boundaries. And it has to receive the right visual cues at the right age so that it can actually learn how to do that.
Yeah.
The concept of free will is explained through modern physics and quantum mechanics. Unlike a fixed, predetermined universe, our reality is constantly being created and recreated.
But my thing is, if we have free will, why are people saying, including Tucker Carlson last year, that we don't have free will? I don't buy it. I think we have free will, but we're limited to the program and the processing. We can only do so much. There's only so many elements in this universe that can create things. You know, there's only so many combinations. It's finite. It's not it goes on forever. We are governed by laws, just like a computer. And those laws apparently can be invaded, changed, perhaps altered to fit your needs. I don't know. That would mean that even though we have free will, our destiny's already predetermined. See, I don't like that. Then we don't have free will, because no matter what we do, we end up in the same place every single time. How's that free will? Or is that chance? Or is that just the way it is. I don't like this at all. If we end up in the same exact position 100 times out of 100, reincarnated, ended up being a loser, died with a bullet in your head, died with a bullet in your head, died with a bullet in your head, right? Every single time it's a bullet in the head, nothing changes. No, even you come to this world with nothing, no skills. You're just given the gift that's in your DNA and the parents that raise you and the surroundings of your environment and the cultural society and all that inclusion. It is a very complex world we live in. And Tucker Carlson said what he learned is, we have some free will, like the coffee we want to drink or the shampoo we're going to use or the shoes we're going to wear. But when it comes to, buying that house or making a career change or deciding on who to fall in love with, it's chosen for us? No. Although, let me tell you something. It's weird. The older you get, you have more in your memory than somebody who's half your age. So my reality feels different than yours. I can go back and say, 20 years ago this happened. You can't. It's I don't know where I was going 100% with that, but it's just like he was saying in the video. When you get to a certain age, you learn how to grab onto things, you learn how to use your skills. But is that predetermined by your physical makeup or the Matrix's laws that govern reality in the world we live in this fake world we live in this reality, this fake, living, loving world we live in? Very confusing. Yes, it all feels very real, but guess what? The universe can't tell the difference between thought and reality. How's that? That's the loophole. Use it. All right, I love this ending to this.
When we observe something like looking at another person, we're not just passively seeing them, but actively participating in creating reality by recognizing boundaries and distinctions. What makes this understanding powerful is how it connects to quantum fields and fluctuations. Reality isn't like a movie playing out in a predetermined way. It's more like a continuous process of creation where we actively participate. This explains why babies must learn to distinguish objects and boundaries. They're learning.
Oh. And we'll get back to that. And remember what he said early on? God is in all of us. Doesn't that sound like it is a simulation where this thing that created it, God, is a hive mind and hears us when we're sleeping? He knows when we're awake. He knows if we've been bad or good. So be good. For God's sake, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. The universe is an angry guy. He'll kill you if you're against him. The free will he'll take away. And he doesn't care if you're black or white. So hey, just be gay. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. The universe is an angry guy. He will take you away and make you afraid. He'll make you one thing you will say. Oh, I hate reality. Believe in God. That's the key to all of this. Do not denounce God. I'm bringing it back into my life, baby. Just because. I don't want to risk it. Look, I want God or the universe to recognize me and still hear me when I pass away. I don't want to be ignored. I don't want to be pushed aside. Then I have to go to Satan. I become Satan. I create my world with my memories. And it's not a world governed by good or bad. It's governed by fear and by emotion, not by critical thinking or positive thoughts or the willingness to do good. It's a very strange world. It becomes corrupt, and you literally become stranded, alone, and you try to reach through into this world again, and you're a shadow passing by. Why do you think we have ghosts? Because they're trying to form the reality and the residual effect. They get it. Oh, shit. Okay. And then they wait again. And here it comes again. Oh, I almost had it again. So you see them going through that same wall over and over. They're trying to connect with somebody. They need the energy. And the reason they stay secluded to a home or a land or a graveyard is because they don't have the energy to travel. They can only go so far. And if they can find somebody, they become, what is it? A hitchhiker. And they get to go home with these people. But what happens if they are exorcised from these people? Now they are an angrier, alone entity that becomes darker and more soulless. And the next person it grabs onto, it possesses, and it makes them crazy because it won't let go. And it sucks every ounce of energy because it's been alone for so long. Finally, I've got the energy to just feel human again. But it's short-lived. And eventually they're cast out again. They become angrier and angrier. And then they become skinwalkers. I think I'm making this up. This was downloaded to me. Don't you get it? What did I say? Did I just say that? It was downloaded to me? Everything I just said, if we rewound the last 5 minutes, it makes 100% sense. Jeff Garvey, hey! $5. He needs a Scambian laugh with a little Ziegfugel sprinkled on top. All right. It'll come naturally very soon, within a minute. Hey, man. I forget. How does his voice go? How is he? I'm thinking of Jeff Woolwine. Hey, man. Those aren't aliens, Richard. They were lizard people, you stupid Italian. What'd you go do? Did you toss some pizzas? Scambian is, and that's it. I can't think of anything else. Oh, Skinwalker, Hey, Jaime. Hey, Rish. Jaime. Ziegfugel. Hey, Rish. Oh, what's up there, Brandon? You will call me Captain Ziegfugel. What? Ziegfugel! I am the Führer of Skinwalker. You will bow down, kneel down, do all that other shit. I will not. You will find the way to hell's doors. Sieg Heil. Hey, all right. Thanks, Jeff Garvey. It's hard to do this stuff on call. Like when somebody says, hey, do Schwarzenegger. It won't be the best. I'll try a little later. I'll do a little more. Thanks, Jeff. That's right. We're taking what do they call it? Requests for voices and anything else I can do. But let's continue this.
To participate in this creative process of reality. This view of reality as an active, creative process where we have genuine free will leads us to question what happens when we die.
So, speaking of this non-terminal domain, in a really basic question, I'm not going to ask you if I'm going to go to heaven or hell, but will I go to either heaven or hell?
You will persist after you die. Okay? Where you go depends on who Michael Knowles really is.
But you're telling me I'm going somewhere.
Yes.
You're confident of that. I don't just evaporate. I don't just turn into oblivion.
What did he just say?
Well, you can. If you displease God, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. God is going to cut you off, and he's going to say, I can't see him anymore. He's going to turn away from you, and then you won't be able to reunite. Salvation will be impossible for you, because salvation means that God has got to pull you back into himself.
Right.
The all-loving, all-knowing, all-being who loves you so much will cast you out if you denounce him or don't give him the proper, I don't know, Sieg Fuegel? What do you have to salute God every day? See, this bothers me. The ego of God. Hey, God's like this. This is why. I made all of this in 6 days. I slept on the 7th. I really passed out. But for you, all of it. You see all those dots out there? There's others out there, right? This is for you. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can harm you. Everything you see is for you, the human being. Why wouldn't you look up to me and thank me every day for the air and the food and the water that you use? Because it's not supposed to be that way. Because you made us in your image, Matrix Man. We are greedy. We are murderers. We are everything you made us. What do you think? You think we're going to remember to thank you every single day? No. There's only a few people on the planet, and they're nuns. And they're priests. And even then, they're dirty. Oh, the Muslims. Okay. See? And then there's different gods. Oh, we got Buddha. We got a blue one. We got one with 6 arms. We got one with 2.5.
Okay, but God doesn't want to see you anymore. He doesn't even know you exist. He knows your physical body is there, but he's not interested anymore because you hate him, you deny his existence, you offend him, so he's not going to look at you, right? So now what happens? Well, okay, you're dead. You still want to live. There's something in you that still desperately wants to live, so it's still going to be there. What happens now? Well, you try to create your own world for yourself, but if you're a bad person or you're an evil person, what kind of world is that going to be?
What are we? Am I a human? When I die, I'm still me? Is that what he's saying? I want to go back into life? I don't get it. I don't get it. If we can't take our memory with us, all of that should go out the window. No, because you're choosing to go back as somebody new. So you're going to bring all new experiences to God. So am I not living for me? Yeah. You live out your life, do your thing, and God will take all the information you brought, the relationships, the jobs, how you treated people, everything. And we'll see if we'll continue this reincarnate, as you say. That doesn't sound normal to me. Does this sound right to anybody? Like, why? Who gives a shit? If you're dead and you forget every friggin' thing you were living for 50, 80 years, whatever it is, what's the point of it all? I don't see what the point is yet. Okay, so God's in my image. I'm in his image. He hears and sees everything's like Santa Claus. I die and then we do it again? Why? It doesn't make sense. I thought we were just these light beings or something spiritual, not this form. We just take on this shell of whatever we are. This is our capsule. I just don't understand. If you die, you still maintain the human thought process. Oh, I want to go back and be me again. No, Yeah.
It's going to be an evil world, and that's what we call hell. You still want to live. There's something in you that still desperately wants to live, so it's still going to be there. What happens now? Well, you try to create your own world for yourself, but if you're a bad person or you're an evil person, what kind of world is that going to be? It's going to be an evil world, and that's what we call hell.
If we are active participants in creating
So if you die and you were an evil person, whatever, I mean, that's subjective, right? What I may think is not evil, you may think is evil, okay? So all of this doesn't make sense to me. None of it. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
reality, does this participation continue after death? The afterlife isn't just a matter of belief. It's presented as a logical continuation of consciousness after death. Our existence continues, but where we go depends entirely on our relationship with God. This relationship isn't just about following rules, it's about maintaining a connection with the source of reality itself. What makes this understanding unique is how it explains hell. It's not a place of punishment, but a natural consequence of separation from God. When someone rejects God, they try to create their own reality, but without connection to the source of all reality, this self-created world reflects their internal state. If that state is evil, their reality becomes hellish. This concept of separation from God and the creation of alternative realities leads to question about other spiritual beings and the nature of evil itself.
So we've gotten through death, judgment, heaven and hell, free will, and God. Are angels and demons real?
Yes.
God is real, angels are real, demons are real. Is the devil real?
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, it has to be. You know, we were talking about Michael Knowles being surrounded by the medium and, you know, you've got a boundary. Yeah. Well, God has a boundary too. He's got a very tight boundary. He is perfect. He can't take anything resembling imperfection, right? He can't take it into himself because that would be a contradiction. Yep. Okay? So God needs an antithesis in order to be properly defined. What is that antithesis? Anti-God or Satan. So it definitely exists. Now, Satan isn't coherent because, you know, he basically hates existence. Nevertheless, he gains coherence through human beings, through secondary tellers, as they're called in the CTMU. In other words, Satan can nucleate power structures, for example, you know, things like corporations and governments, where you've got people in there that can be acquired as resources, and there's a kind of skeleton, you know, a corporate organization, a governmental, you know, organization that's holding them together, holding them in place, that can be exploited by Satan.
The spiritual realm includes beings like...
All right. Samo, no. Look at what Samo says. He says, it's, you know, like the point is, haha, we keep coming back until we get this right. What is right? What is right to a Muslim is not the same to a Christian. This is a very confusing time. This conversation doesn't make much sense. And you know what? I think the volume is a little low right now. I'm turning it way up, and I think I'm going deaf. The thing is, Samo, how do you know what to do right and to do wrong if you come back without a memory? You start all over again. So if I hear you correctly, because no one on this planet is void of sin. Everybody's sinned. If you were a child and you stole potato chips, not knowing you were stealing, you just did it because you wanted them and you didn't know, your mother and father didn't know until you got outside about that. But you stole them. That's a sin. Thou shalt not steal. Sinner. But Jesus died for our sins, right? So we can do a bunch of stuff, but is it just the little things? Like if you murder somebody, is that okay? Because he died for that sin too? I'm very confused. This is the problem why I have a big problem with Catholicism, religion in general. Everybody's got their own loopholes and laws and rules, and It's whatever you want. That's the trick. It's whatever you want to believe. As long as you believe. That's it. That's what he's saying. Don't denounce God or the universe. Just accept that there's something there, you're praying to it, and it's going to listen to you. So, with that being said, if God is listening to me or the universe, isn't that the same exact thing as trying to do the law of attraction? Yes, it is identical. Just different verbiage, different terminology. So if you want to change your life, because my right hand to God, alien God, I am going to make this my religion, and I'm going to see if things change. Here's what you will notice if it's working. My health will be better. I won't miss a show. I won't talk about being sick. So you'll know. Number 2, success on Rich Saves America. I don't know because we're shadow banned here, but any success will be a positive one. And that means what we're doing is working. And the third thing is, what's the third? We're believing. We're going to do the law. And I don't know. But whatever. We don't keep coming back till we get it right. Because when I came into this world, Nathan, Samo, Dan Peters, Henry, Jeanette, I don't know about you, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. 1 day old, peeling. My skin was still peeling for 2 weeks. I had to be fed, clothed, bathed. I mean, I couldn't have a thought in the world about what I need to get right. What did I do wrong? I know what I did wrong. There's so many, I can't remember them all. Is that why Jesus? What is Jesus? Is Jesus an external hard drive? Like, if God can't handle it, they got the external Jesus hard drive. That'll soak up a bunch of sins. That's what that is. It is. That's what he is. He's an external hard drive. I got a main computer, a display, because apparently we all live on the display, and I have an external hard drive. We are living in a matrix reality. I really want you to try it with me, to do the matrix, the law of attraction. Oh, and I'll have money. Money will be a big thing. I'm gonna be asking for money, like windfalls of money, like thousands of dollars. If I ask for thousands, I may get hundreds. I don't want to, step on pennies for dollars. I don't. I just wanted to say something good. I don't know what that means. I just, success for me is monetarily is like you can buy anything at any time. Food. That's all. I just want to have food. Food and the bills. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need extra money. I don't need extravagant shirts, things, and all. I just need the tools to do the job. And that's it. And to survive and live. But we are not. We are not in a world that is fake. We're in a real world. It just so happens you can control it. I want to show you what we're going to talk about tomorrow in the same type of setting with the same guy. No, we're not done yet. I was just saying, here's for tomorrow.
What is sleep to you?
Most people, they go to sleep and they wake up not being able to remember what happened. Okay? I remember everything.
This is Chris Langan, the man with the 200 IQ. Listening to him completely changed the way I see sleep and dreams.
In other words, when I dream, I'm conscious of the dream. On some level, I see what's happening. People talk about lucid dreaming. I don't necessarily get into the dream and try to change it. Instead, I just watch it. What happens? Something is trying to communicate with me, about something that's going to happen, already did happen, some situation that exists. And so I'm going to pay attention to that communication. And I'm going to try to decode this when I wake up.
Now, is that dream different dimensional dream, a different reality when you sleep? Well, what is that when we dream?
That's a language. All of these things like that gorilla in your dream, those are symbols. They're the
All right. Pretty cool. I'm looking at I want to show you this. I think this is the 13-minute mark one. Let me see here. I don't know. Oh, this isn't it. I don't know. I have some really interesting videos that I want to show you, like spiritual stuff, and I paranormal activities picking up around my place. And lately I've been sleeping, because I do that sleeping thing. And the military sleeping thing, I make sure I go to sleep. And my whole life, have always had lucid dreams. I dream in color. I smell everything. It's just like perfect. It's another world to me. I can't interact. Every time I try to interact, I call it defragging. The dream starts to break down. It goes like this. Oh, what a beautiful dream. And then I say, wait a minute, am I dreaming? Oh, no, I am dreaming. Oh, no, don't. Wait. Oh, no, it's starting to break. I can't remember. No, wait, get back. Oh. It's like I'll try to focus in on it, and then I start to remember the dream, and then I remember I'm dreaming, and then I start waking up, and I'm like, no, no, and then it comes back. It's really weird. It breaks down in, like, I see it as blocks, and they get removed. And then the other one, it's like, oh my God, it's just like Tetris. How weird. My allergy. It was so windy today. We're having this cold front move in. It's supposed to start storming right around now. But this morning, oh my God, there was like 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. All right, I want to show you this. The moon. We're also going to talk about this tomorrow. The moon is an external hard drive of Earth. And Randall Carson, one of my favorite archaeologists, said so. Here, look.
That I recently heard you mention on a video about the moon. Could we talk about the moon?
Sure. Let's talk
All
about
right.
the moon.
So I haven't looked into this too deeply, but I heard you mention that the moon could be hollow.
Well, that's an oversimplified model. There is this school of thought out there, the moon is hollow. And that goes back really to the Apollo days. But let's put it this way, there is a lot of the moon.
All right. We'll get back to that tomorrow. It's 4:20 somewhere. Smoke up. You guys okay? You're going to do the Matrix reality. I'm telling you, if you Oh, wait. If you do, I think you're going to be excited about the results. For the last 2 days, I've been really focusing because I started this on March 2nd. And I focus on the things that I want. I want health. I want a steady income. I want certain things. And I can already tell something's a little different. I don't know how to say it, or if it's something that's just a mental thing, but I don't care. I don't care if it's a mental thing because I talked myself into it. That's what I'm hoping happens. I'm hoping the thought and just saying it does the trick, because thoughts become things. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish. I want to show you, I found these videos about me, and I want to show you one of them. And I don't understand where they get their ideas from, but this is 2 years ago from Albert Bostick. He says, "Is GUFON the worst UFO channel on YouTube?" I never knew this video existed till last week.
So I want to talk about GUFON for a minute because I feel like his channel is probably the most hated UFO or UFOlogy channel on YouTube. I've seen a lot of people sit there and talk very negative about his channel, and I've been watching his channel for about like two or 3 weeks so far, and I think some of that, I think some of that hate is a little bit kind of validated. Like he does come across as very negative at times. Like he'll constantly sit there and start talking about different people. Start talking about start talking dirty about different, people in the UFO community. Particularly,
Why don't you just say what I'm doing? I'm talking about the people who are lying to the UFO community. You shouldn't be mad at me, Albert. I know it's 2 years ago, but you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at them. This is the craziness that I never understand. So I'm a little verbose. So I call people names. Hey, I'm immature, but I'm a red blooded American guy, normal, pretty much. But, you know, what I want people to do, you know what they should do? Say anything you want about me, but tell me how to improve the show.
some guy named Lou, and some other people too. And I remember he was sitting there talking negative about. Well, he wasn't really talking so much negative about this girl, but he said something that was very inappropriate.
About Christina Gomez's boobies.
And instead of just sitting there saying, well, you know what, listen, she doesn't seem like she's a good creator, or, yada, 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 he immediately goes and tries to, I wouldn't sit there and say sexualize her, but he tries to make it seem like she's using her sexuality
She is.
to get views. And I felt like it was just unnecessary. And there's just times where I'm not gonna lie, he just acts like a damn man baby. Um, there's been a couple of times like before he starts his show, um, he'll sometimes have problems with his camera. And like, in the beginning, like the camera be like very blurry or whatever. And he'll sit there and pout and be like, well, I'm not gonna start the show. I'm not gonna start the show if it's like this. And I'm sitting there thinking, bro, shouldn't you actually kind of make sure this stuff is like settled and done before you start?
See, this is where, and this is why I don't watch these things when people make stuff about me. don't you think every show I test my shit before I start and it works fine? But when you turn the camera off sometimes to what they call hiding the camera from the view, from the viewers, when it turns back on, I may be this far back or in a different position and it goes out of focus. And after doing that for 4 years, 3 years, yeah, it's a little frustrating. See, these are the people who cry about the wrong thing. I'm crying and being a baby because I wanted perfection. I wanted perfection out of the show and I didn't get it. And I wouldn't do a show where I'm blurry. So yeah, I said, I'm not going to start the show until this is fixed. Why wouldn't I? Anyway, I'm not going to play anymore. I'll put the link to that, though, in the show description so you guys can see the anger. I want to show you another one from Alien Addict. This was before he reached out and kind of wanted to bury the hatchet. But he says, GUFON, you paranoid, bitter man. This is good. I didn't even know this was made until last week. And this is a year or so ago. So let's take a listen to Alien Addict. Poor Alien Addict. He's just trying to move on with his life. All right, but it's funny now. We can look back on it. I have no ill will towards him.
You're so right about me. You know, I am a user, the biggest user of all. I invited you on my show back when I had 4,000 subscribers and you had 300 because I just thought I will try and get as much as I can off GUFON. You weren't even called GUFON then, I don't think. I didn't redesign your logo because I thought your old logo was a bit naff. I didn't make you a channel.
Wait, I asked him to make the logo. I don't hate him for this. This was old. I wish I would have seen it, though.
Channel intro because I thought your old channel intro was just a little bit just
yeah, well, thank you for doing all that. I appreciate that. How about all the times I came on to your show and ran the show? Because you don't like to read the stories, remember? Rich, I like having you on because you really know your shit. And if I get stuck, I know I can count on you to back me up, mate.
Writing and
it's weird how people forget.
Have any fun to it. I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't design your backup channel logo either, or your backup channel backdrop. I didn't teach you how to make thumbnails. I didn't.
You didn't. Third Phase of Moon taught me
any of those things. But I'll tell you what I did do. I debunked Third Phase of Moon.
You didn't. I love him. I hope they're doing good on that new platform, though. I meant to go check it out, and I just keep forgetting. Yeah, we'll go see how they're doing. Maybe I should have them on. I like Lee. I think Lee is his friend is a very funny guy. He is a stand-up comedian, a real one, actually. I don't know if he makes any money, but he's really funny. He has, we record ourselves if we go up on stage, and he's got a few of those recordings that he's put on the internet. I find him to be very funny, and I'm surprised he hasn't really taken off. It's not an easy business, but he's got some talent. He's got a really funny way. He's just funny. He's just funny. Like, he's not funny looking, but he's just a funny guy. Like, you look at Will Ferrell and you just laugh when you see him. Jim Carrey, you just look at Jim Carrey, you laugh. Robin Williams was the same way. Oh, don't go there. And he used to go, and everybody be like, ha ha, he's so funny. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Let's get the hell out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out, moderators and super chatters. Thank you for the support tonight. We had some goals, a goal to hit. Oh, no, I didn't put it up tonight. But there was a poll. I'm ending it now. And the poll is, do you believe we live in a simulation like the Matrix? 44% of you said yeah. Now, 27% said no. And another 27% said, I really don't know. So it was almost 50-50 again. That's amazing to me. 45% of you think we live in a Matrix reality. Wow. I still don't know. I'm in the I don't know. I really don't know. But I forgot to mention some things now that I remember. Like ghosts, UFOs. Wouldn't it make sense if we really were living in a Matrix reality? And the UFOs are like little pins. They go like this. They're just pens and they're riding across the sky, and we think they're UFOs flying around, right? But maybe they're just pens in a holographic universe and they're just doing shit. You know the chemtrails, when they put an X in the sky? Yeah, go right there. I don't know, man. Bigfoot, skinwalkers, things that go bump in the night. I watched this ghost video today, and I don't know how this is happening. And I'll show you the video tomorrow. The guy's been in this house for a couple of years, 9-10 years, and he's gotten very used to the knocking on his door and anywhere in the house. But when he tries to get some sleep, the spirit will knock on his door like this, like really hard. And he's walking up to it. It's getting louder. And he opens up the door. Nobody's there. And nobody could be to the right because there's a wall. And to the left is a stairway. And nobody went running down the hall. So my thing is, are they recording the knocking before and then throwing in the audio and timing it with the walk? No, because you can see the door shaking. You can see it moving. You could see the latch shaking with every bang. Blah, 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 blah. Should I not believe? And when he opens up the door, he's done it so much over the last 9 years. He says, I challenge these things. And there's other times where he'll open up the door and go, fuck you. And he'll yell at it. You could tell there's been some time. Am I not supposed to believe that? Because I live in a place that goes through cycles of weird shit happening. The spoon hanging out of the drawer, the cupboards. I had to put string around the knobs so it won't open. The pounding on that, I mean, seeing the bottom half of looks like an old woman wearing what do they call those gowns at night they wear? And dragging her feet. I could barely hear the slippers on the floor. And then go back the other way. And super loud bangs at the back door, the front door. I got the picture of the apparition and the hiding in the door. By the way, since I put the camera in that room to watch the door, because it would open up every night, it only opened up the first night I got the camera. And it hasn't opened up since. Oh no, wait, I take it back. 2 weeks ago, somebody came to spray wash the house, and the door opened, and he went to go close it. He says, yeah, the door just opened. I was standing right there. So she, the ghost, probably opened it up to scare him. And he said, yeah, I had to close it. It wouldn't stay closed. I'm like, yeah, I saw it on the camera. It was kind of cool. But anyway, all right. So we got a good week. It's going to be a fun week. Tomorrow's Wednesday. It's going to be a nice rainy day here in Florida. And Rich Saves America is going to have new stuff up again tomorrow. So a lot of stuff going on. More members. There's a new member video in there now. If you guys want to check out Never Before Seen, Third Phase UFO report from 2 years ago. It's kind of cool. I watched it. I liked it. All right. Till tomorrow. Thank you all for hanging out. We do truthology for ufology, and we do it for you. Nobody else. Just you. All right. And if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out. Alien bless. Or God bless.
There's a good thing. It's rotating. What was in the skies of Jerusalem, and why did it downward its treasured sites in Christianity?
There's a new bit that something may be proof we're not alone in the universe. UFO, in the form of a bright light, is descending over the dome of the rock.